Tang Empire. I was born in the Tang Empire in the outskirts of Shang. There I was to shield the baby silkworm from unprecedented danger, but instead I brought harm to the baby. The humans snatched me off of the mulberry tree and sorted me out among many other cocoons. I was put in the good pile, as they called it. There the baby and I were boiled in a very hot, sear liquid. They killed the baby silkworm. They had mercilessly murdered her. I was then unwound from my previous state and put aside for a day. Today, I was put on this giant loom where I met other threads. They all had had similar experiences. Then a thought hit me. What exactly were the humans planning to do to us? I was grabbed and spun with many others into yarn. These are going to be my comrades for our future adventure. Day 6, Tang Empire. After meeting the other silk and being painfully twisted with other silk strands, we were set aside in a clear glass bowl and put into a wooden cupboard. Today, we were removed and dyed with bright violet berries which I had seen smashed the day before. I was no longer the pure, white beauty that I thought I was. I lost part of my identity today. I was then set aside to dry with the other colored threads. Day 8, Tang Empire. Looking around me as I was being moved to the giant loom to be once again combined with many others to threads to form a cloth. I was surprised, per se. I was originally supposed to be used as a measuring tool, but I was for some reason made into a piece of cloth. It was so extremely painful for my friends and I, since we were forced to bend our bodies in such a strange and painful way. The cloth that was now formed was then put on a cart that is to be transported to the marketplace. Day 9, Tang Empire. We arrived at the marketplace in Shang early in the morning. One by one, each of us was slowly transported out of the cart. Good thing we arrived early, since good places to put a stand-up were limited. The streets were soon bustling with people, with rare and exotic goods being sold rapidly. There were stands lined on each side of a narrow road. One stand had exotic spices from Southeast India. There were temples with giant Buddhist statues far off. Our silk stand was one of the gems of the market, since the silk was of high quality. Soon a man with a bushy mustache came to our stand. This man was definitely not from here. His facial features screamed foreigner. He spoke something to the salesperson, and then he pointed at us. The salesperson, disappointed, shook his head. The man offered something new in the form of a gold brick. The salesperson agreed and handed my friends and I to him. Day 245, India. Ah, home at last, the strange man claimed. We made it to the new lands after many months of pain and adventure. We traveled over a vast ocean that the men called the Indian Ocean Maritime System. We were in a very large ship, which the men called a junk. There must have been at least 100 other men besides the man which I had just met on the ship. We were able to feel the monsoon winds which carried us to Tamla. We stayed there for a few nights, tired and restless. Day 251, India. 6 moons later, Sri Harsha, a man had told us to call him that, carried us over many tall mountains, which took several days to cross each. Eventually, we arrived in the city of Masulipatam, where people were dancing and playing a wonderful assembly of music. The instruments were beautifully made with strings, but I became aware that I may be one of those strings soon. There were many unclothed women on the streets, each one with an older man. I observed grains of rice and varying in color spices along the bumpy streets. I heard many different tongues, but the most common was Arabic, the language which I was born into. Many statues lined the streets, each representing a different god or goddess with their own specialties. Day 255, India. 4 moons later, my comrades and I were packed up into tight packages. Sri Harsha transferred us to this young man named Muhammad quickly. Muhammad moved to India from the Malaysian peninsula, but told us he must make his Hajj pilgrimage to Mecca very soon, or it will be too late. Again, we were on an ocean, hitting many violent waves along our travel, though this travel was very short in comparison. We traveled using the latest technology, the dhow. It was large, but did not even compare to the junk on my previous journey. Day 320, Mecca. We arrived along the coast a few moons ago. We were put onto the back of a very large brown animal with a long mane. We overheard Muhammad telling a friend about how much cheaper the horses were in Arabia compared to the horses in India, so we assumed this was a horse. The first place we visited was the Kaaba. I saw huge temples with many fully clothed women, along with many young men. Each person I observed had their hands clasped together with their fingers pointing to the sky. Muhammad left us outside while he went into the large building. He said he would be back soon, but many moons passed before he did. While we were waiting for his return, many Turkish slaves passed us, carrying many goods. When Muhammad returned, he had decided to not return to India, but to travel to Baghdad. The locals kept saying how scholarly Baghdad is and what beautiful scenery is there. This intrigued Muhammad. He is a scholar, after all. Day 335, Baghdad. We arrived in Baghdad, observing the beautiful scenery. There were many pretty gardens and these new technologies they called fountains of water. There were beautiful castles, and each were filled with lots of scholars of different nationalities. Some women even writing. Muhammad gave us to a renowned scholar in the House of Wisdom. This scholar then gave us to a tailor who tightly wound us and many others into an extremely colorful robe. This tailor spoke Arabic, so I could easily understand him. It is my native tongue, after all. I was given back to the scholar, where I would be passed down from generation to generation as a wonderful heirloom of clothing.